Joe, just a little clap.
Can I move that?
Doing your head in?
Yeah, it's stressing me out.
You're OCD?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I am.
So, I'm going to try and interview Dakota, but you actually had me tapping about 10 minutes ago, so that was quite a humbling experience. Thank you very much for your time. It was great spending time with you doing what you do best.
Thanks for coming.
And I'm going to start every podcast with this question, and it's broad. Mind over everything. What does that mean to you?
Everything. It means everything. For me, I mean, in every aspect of my life, I am a big advocate for your mindset being 100% all the time. Not all the time, we have our struggles, but mindset is like most important for me, even before any physical training that I do. My mindset will always be the most important thing in life. And that's just something that me and my family have always spoke about together and helped each other with. Just being strong, you know, the mindset is like, for us, the most important and will always be.
What is your mindset?
It's just, for me, it's not just one thing, you know, and it's not something that you can just kind of describe because it changes all the time. But for me, it's something that I have to constantly work on every day. It's something that takes a lot of patience and work, like I said, you know, but it's having confidence, being acceptant of the tough days, you know, not trying to like live a life where it's all plain sailing, you know. My mindset is accepting the tough times, not getting rid of them. And as well, having family to support, you know, accepting that health and stuff. I think sport in general is tough and it gets tougher as the years go on, you know, and the new generations deal with more and more. So I feel like for me, it's something that has to be worked on all the time.
Yeah, I totally hear you talk about that kind of, that family element.
Mm-hmm.
Being here today and being around you and how you guys work.
Yeah.
How does it feel to know that you've not just got great coaches, but you've got people that you can, you know, you trust with your life and they're also mega talented? Yeah.
I think for me, that's what's got me through this sport. I don't know a sport any different than having my family as one team with me. You know, I feel like I always say this, any fight week I go to, my family are always there. I feel like unless they're there, I'm not me. And that's just kind of like how I've grown up over the years. So that's probably another thing that makes my mindset stronger, is knowing I've got people behind me that support me, believe in me. You know, they can lift me up when I'm having them tough times and doubting myself a little bit. And I feel like that's like sometimes a little bit of a cheat code for me, because not everybody has that kind of family that's involved in the same sport and knows what you're going through. So I kind of take advantage of that, and that's something that's probably my little cheat to everyone else.
Where do you fit in their lives? I know they're there for you, but where do you fit for them? Where do you fit for Cody?
I mean, I always say, like, they give up their lives for me. Like, everywhere I go for my sport, it's like everyone follows. My brother, he's probably got his own like career that he wants to go into and his own stuff that he wants to do, but he's there for me every fight camp I have. He's there for me between. He answers my phone calls when I need to, business, he deals with everything for me. So for me, like, he fits into my life, but I'll always be grateful for that. And for that, I'll always make sure that, you know, my family are happy and set, you know, and that's kind of like another thing that motivates me in this sport, is like, I want to be able to give back. You know, they're helping me achieve my dreams, so therefore I'm doing this for them as well. Yep. And that's kind of something that motivates me when I get in the cage as well, you know. It's like it's a family thing, it's not just a knee thing.
So who were your inspirations growing up, both in the cage or in life in general?
I mean, I've always looked up to like my mum for sure, you know. That's one person I'll say. She's obviously been a fighter herself, so what she achieved I'm like super proud of. And I always want to, like, it's funny because we used to go to different shows and we used to go to like interclubs where we fight different people, and every time we walked in anywhere it used to be like, oh, this is Lisa Howarth's daughter, Dakota.
Yeah.
Then like over time it switched and it was like, oh, this is Dakota Ditcheva's mum, Lisa.
And how does that
we always used
work?
to laugh, like, it's really funny, but it's like, as long as both names are like are said and noted, then I'm happy. Like, I always want my mum to be able to be mentioned because she's the reason really that I'm here, and I'll always be grateful for the genes that I got, for sure.
So you were saying that at one point too strong for the girls to spar. Boys were a little bit too strong. You used to spar with your mum. What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, the weirdest relationship ever, fighting with your mum. But,
Yeah.
but again, like, we've always got on super well. And when we used to come in, it was just, I think she probably enjoyed it. That's what I'm going to say. She probably enjoyed it.
Right.
Whenever I was doing her reading, she used to probably quite enjoy coming in and sparring with me. But I mean, my mum will never lose that fight as well. So for her training and sparring with me, she probably doesn't see me as a daughter or she's sparring with me. She's probably just working out with me. So, I mean, it's a memory that I'll cherish forever. Like, again, not just my mum and giving me good genes, she helped me train. You know, she was there for me the whole time. She's taught me everything I know. So, very special relationship, but weird. I mean, we talk about that switch all the time when I'm sparring with my mum. I don't see her as my mum.
Yeah.
Like, that switch that I have is not controllable. So like when we're training, she's got the same switch. I get it from her. So like we know we're mother and daughter, but we're also training and doing what we're born to do. So
talk me through the switch.
Yeah.
I said I'm going to push you. Yeah. So I think I can identify with that switch. You know, I've got a son. I could play football with him.
Yeah.
Or I could play football. Where, do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Can you put into words what that switch is? Because you look like your switch is something you can flick on and off quite easily. You know, you're not walking around looking at eyeing people up. Can I beat you up? You very much look like you could be fluid.
Yeah. Until like the last year or so, I didn't really know at what point I do switch before a fight.
Yeah.
It was actually like my mum and people in the crowd that said to me, "Oh my God, like you walked down." We always have like a walkway when we walk into the cage, and he said like, as soon as I started to walk down that, they noticed like a switch in my eyes.
Right.
And it was like something had switched and I was ready to fight then. So I think my switch is like, I'm always in the zone, but my switch to fight and turn on exactly what I need is right before I get in the cage. But then I would also say, like, we were talking about this the other day, one of my friends said, like the motivation I listen to is like really positive affirmations, like, I am powerful, I am beautiful. And people think like, you get in the cage and you do that to someone and that's the type of motivation you listen to. Like, I listen to like all these hardcore Rocky like clips and stuff like that. That's what one of my friends said to me. And I just said to my mum, like, I don't need someone shouting and like screaming like, come on, get up, like to have that switch. Like, I can roll out of bed and if someone's ready to fight me, I'm ready to fight. Like, that switch will just go. So like me having those two split personalities, like I can listen to them really soft affirmations in the morning, but don't mistake that I will just switch as soon as you approach me, like if I need to. And I still don't understand, like I'm still learning myself and learning how that switch is like, happens.
Do you ever feel it go? Do you ever feel in the wrong situation? Or, you know, we were talking before and some people are talking shit before fights. Yeah. Does that... My tell, I'm not a fighter, but my tell is when I'm starting to lose a little bit of control, as my chest tightens. Yeah. And that's when I just have to like take a deep breath and think about what you're going to say or do.
Yeah.
Have you got a little tell? Or are you quite happy to just let people say what they need to say? I'm going to get you in there, I'm going to smash your head in, so I'm quite comfortable with that.
Yeah, pretty much. Like my switch is competitive. I feel like me and as a person outside of the cage wouldn't want to fight anybody. I'm not like, I've never had a street fight really. I wrestled a guy to the floor in primary school because he pushed in front of me in the dinner queue. But
choked him out.
Yeah, that's as far as it went.
Spread and
I'm a big foodie, so don't push in front of me in the dinner queue. But yeah, like normally I can control myself, you know, but when I get into the cage, that's just like my place, and I'm competitive and I want to win. And if you're in front of me, you're getting it. This sounds so bad, but I've always said this. My mum's always said, like, if you put me in a cage with my best friend, who I love and adore, and say we got to fight, I'll fight. Whereas like other people wouldn't want to hurt them, wouldn't want to do it. I just can't control that switch that comes in that cage.
So, can you take me into your dressing room? How long before a fight are you in the dressing room? How long before a fight is it starting to... Are the wraps and is everything starting to get ready? Yeah,
so when we go to fight week, depending on where we are, we go a week early.
Yeah.
And then we're all fighters are living in the same hotel. So whoever you're fighting, you're seeing all the time. Like you're going into media rooms and they're coming out, they've done theirs. And that for me is like, you're nervous and you know what's happening within the next few days that you're going to fight. But for me, like...
Sorry to interrupt. Have you ever had it? So people presume that when you football and you're interviewed, do you have media training? Do you have media training?
No.
So, and we didn't either, but obviously it's
Yeah.
not quite the same. I'm not looking at someone looking to fight them. So you're not, there's no coaching or no training going on.
No.
You just have to kind of handle yourselves as human beings.
Yeah, and you'll often find like in the fighting world, like the stuff you come out with will be clicked. So like you do have to be careful what you're saying. But for me, I mean, I've always been really respectful anyway. I've never really like talked bad on anyone or like trolled anyone or anything like that. The only time I have done that if they've done it to me, so I've always responded to something they say. Yeah. So I'm quite known for my one-liners. I can be a bit nippy like that, but only when I'm pushed to. But apart from that, I'm like very much calm and just like this now. Yeah. Even literally when I'm ready to, like 3 days out from a fight, I'm still like this.
So you're saying, so you've seen each other in the hotel, in the media rooms and stuff like that. Days are getting closer, day of the fight. How soon are you in the dressing room? People getting wrapped, mum getting into your mum's last words. How does that work? Yeah,
so we head to the venue. We go straight into our room, and we're normally like in the cage within 2-3 hours, I would say. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not much time really, because like when you get there, they want to film you, and then you're warming up, you're getting your hands wrapped, you're putting your gloves on, then you're warming up, and then they want to film you again, and then you can't, when they're filming you can't show too much because they put it on the big screen, and people who study you see more of what you're working. So it's like, it's very slow, the process, but then at that time when you get to the venue, you're very, very nervous. Yeah. And you're like, that's when you know what's happening. Like I will often say, I repeat to myself, what am I doing here? Yeah. Like, what am I doing? I'm literally, sometimes I feel like a performing monkey. Like I'm going out to fight in front of this massive crowd for their entertainment. Like I'm going in there to fight somebody, get punched in the face and hurt someone, and everyone around me is screaming to, do it. Like sometimes I feel like a clown, but I love it.
So I've definitely got like, when I try and analyse myself, like there's so many different versions of me, and I totally identify with what you're saying there, because why, if you were to really break it down, me from Shrewsbury, you from round here, why would you get in a ring and fight someone who's trained to fight, and if they can, they will smash you in, or I will go and go in front of 90,000 people. If you write it down, you think but then if you put it into the version of me that puts the gloves on, or you put the glove on, sweet. I don't care how many people are here, not interested, not one bit. Couldn't care less if there was 2 people or 90,000 people. I'm going in to take care of business. Yeah. One thing that I'm noticing, the more kind of people that I'm working with, you've got to be a bit tapped in, but I see that as a real positive.
Same.
Can you see that in opponents? So I've seen people who are way more talented than me, but they won't go at the level that I've got to. Do you see that when you're fighting technically? Do you think, oh my God, this girl's unbelievable. Why is she not reaching the levels? Yeah,
we see that so much, and I've seen that so much, but this is where we probably go back to like mindset. Yeah. Physically they can look really good, and physically we know exactly what's going to happen in there, but mentally, are you ready for that? Yeah. That's why I said like everything physically can be ready. Like you can turn up to the venue physically, you can warm up, you can punch the pads, get your hands wrapped. But up there, if you're not in that venue and in that fight, for me, in the fight, then what are you doing there physically?
Can you train that? Or do you think that's in people?
You can definitely train it and work it. But speaking in the fighting sport, I feel like you have to, like you just said, be a little bit tapped in order to be at the very, very top.
So, ready, prepared, walking down, everyone's seeing you, Dakota's in her zone. When you get into that cage, what goes on then? What's your world, having been a clown 3 hours before, thinking, what am I doing? Everyone's baying for blood, to the Dakota that walks into the cage, what version's that?
I mean, again, this happens within seconds. Like, I can be feeling like a clown, but then 10 seconds later be walking down the walkway and I've switched. Yeah. And then when I'm in the cage and I'm staring at my opponent, for me, I'm just like, I'm going to hurt you now.
Like computer processing them, looking at the parts of the body you want to hurt.
Yeah, picturing my first move. And often what you won't realise as well is like my coach is behind me when they're like videoing the start of the fight.
Yeah.
And you'll often hear like my brother shouting like, get in the zone now, look at your opponent, like look at her, like picture what you're doing, you know, like again, that's all like, you're not physically doing anything, you're just mentally preparing for what's about to happen. And then everything else, I feel like the physical stuff for me will just come natural because I've trained and it's just like natural for me. But mentally, I have to get in that zone because nothing that I've done in training replicates this exact moment and this exact feeling that I've got. So for me, at that point, nothing physical is going to change anything apart from my mindset in that moment.
Yeah, I think to go into that ring, you sound like you've done everything you possibly can, right?
Yeah.
Everything you possibly can. So the rest of it is just the instinct, the work.
Yeah.
How much of your fights are game plans and how much are they instinctively working someone out?
I'd say half and half. Now, other fighters would probably say like game plan, they've literally wrote it all out and they know exactly what's going to happen, exactly what they want to do. For me, it's like my brother will coach me, set things, but he'll also know that what he's teaching me, I'll work out myself.
Yeah.
And like, it'll come natural at the time where I think it comes natural. And he'll like trust in that. So we never, like you said before, like, I just know Dakota really, really well. I know what I need to give her in order to, you know, get her to do that on the night. So it's like the repetition just kind of comes naturally.
And what about when you start to smell blood? You know, you're 15-0, you're finishing people 14 times right out of the 15.
Mm-hmm.
How do you stay calm in that situation? Because me as a fight fan, you know, you hear people talking about them not getting carried away, not knowing what I'm doing. If I saw that I was actually winning a fight, the excitement and the rush that would run through my body. How do you control that? How does the ice flow through the veins in the big moments? Yeah,
I mean, through training and through like, I used to really like rush myself and go crazy and make mistakes. Like a few times in my first MMA fights, I used to like drop someone and then like dive on them and just like want to just punch him. And then they recovered because I weren't hitting them clean. Yeah. So it was like, again, something you go back to the gym and then you have to consciously work on your mind to be like, right, in that moment you need to relax. So like over my fights, you'll see I've dropped a few people and I've kind of like told them to get back up, you know, because I've like learned to control that. It's like emotions that I have to experience and do it wrong in order to change afterwards.
A lot of people fight to win.
Yeah.
What's your line? What do you fight to do?
My brother's looking at me like, don't say it. But I literally go to kill. And it does sound brutal. And that's why my brother's like, just be careful with what you say. But I do genuinely go in to hurt somebody and to get out. Like, I don't want to fight 5 rounds. If my fight's set up for 5 rounds, I want to fight 1.
Yeah.
Like, I love fighting, don't get me wrong. And if I have a full fight, I'm happy, kind of. But if I can get them out in 1, then I'm out in 1. Do you know what I mean? So whereas other fighters are just there to like get the paycheck and to win and just secure the win. But I feel like with that type of mindset, you're never going to achieve like the top. For me, it's like, I don't know, you're just going somewhere just to say you've done it. I don't want to say I've done it.
See, I don't think that's the wrong thing. I love that. That's exactly what I'd say. Yeah. And I get that it, you know, and I get why your brother's protective because it's not a nice thing to say. If you have to isolate that line, it's horrendous. And
it isn't me sat here right now. It's only when I'm in the cage. That's probably why people think, wow, is she really like that?
But that's why, so that would lead me on to who do you look up to in terms of like in the modern sporting world? Might not be a fighter. Yeah. Who do you see in you that's really, really, really at the level? Like you're at this level, but who's at that level that you think, I think like them. I see how they move. I see how they work. If it's no one, it's no one.
Yeah, I would say I don't see anybody like me, like me. But then I would also say like, if I was to pick one fighter, like the aggression wise, I would probably pick Amanda Nunes, who was in UFC. Like the aggression she had, you could clearly see. Or Joanna Jacek, like the aggression, the striking that she had. Like she looks very much like me when I go into fight. So it's like they're the 2 people that would probably stick out that have that switch, I feel like. Yeah. So
that proper killer instinct.
Yeah.
And is that something that, as a coach, that they want to keep, or at some point, you're going to have to be, you're going to be fighting to be the best, period.
In the world, yeah.
Do you think that will ever be a point where you'll have to just hold that back a little bit, or you just continue with that kill or be killed mentality?
Yeah, genuinely, I think that will get worse.
Yeah.
I just think it'll get worse because it will mean more. Yeah. The pressure's higher. For me, like, I hate losing. So for me, there's only first place. Like, I would never compete in a race or a competition that has first, second and third and you all get a medal. Don't give me a second medal or a third medal. I don't want that.
You're taking it off?
I would pretty much take it off and be like, take that, mum.
What was the last thing you lost? What was the last sport?
I lost a Thai boxing match. Yeah, I lost a Thai boxing fight.
When?
I was gutted. That was when I was like, what year was that? But good, like 7, 8 years ago now.
That was the last time you lost anything?
I lost and then I drew afterwards. Now I won't make excuses, but I was dealing with
we've all got excuses, mate. Don't worry about
I was dealing with a blister. No, I was dealing with a few injuries, which I weren't at my best. But for me, like, I don't want to excuse it. I lost and then I drew, and I was gutted. Now I'm 15-0 in MMA. So like, people say like, oh, everyone's got to lose at some point. No, they don't. Like, I wasn't meant to lose in Thai boxing. Like, it's taught me a lot, but I'm not happy with it.
How did you behave after the loss?
I got back in and I fought again, and then I drew.
I mean, you lost. How did you?
I cried. Yeah. I'm a very emotional person as well. Like, I might fight and be super tough, but I'm really emotional. Like, the sport or anything I do means a lot to me. Like, I won't do anything that I don't kind of.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, get a buzz from. Like, I have to love it to do it, and the type of sports we do, you have to, or you're going to get hurt, right?
So speaking to your mum, there seemed like there was a moment in time where you weren't quite sure whether you could pursue this, or maybe you had to go and get a real job. Mm-hmm. Talk me through that sort of process.
Yeah, it's been a tough sport because I've had, like, for me, I've always wanted a little bit of security. So like, I've always said to my mum, like, I want a normal job where I work set hours and I get paid at the end of the month and I know what money's coming in. For me, Thai boxing has always been like, we don't get paid unless we fight. So we can do a full fight camp, get injured at the end, and then we don't get paid. And we don't know when our next fight is either. And for girls, there's a lot less girls in this sport. So for us, it's like, we don't get the fights as often. So I was obviously struggling with money a lot. And when you're getting older, you want to be able to like get a car and get to training yourself and pay for new gym clothes and things like that. And I just felt like all that kind of stress got too much. Like, it was just like, I wanted a bit of security. I'd never felt that security because I've never had a proper job, really. Yeah. So that kind of got a lot. And when you're getting to an age where you feel like time's running out a little bit, like, you have to have a breakthrough before it's too late. This sport, you can't waste your years. So for me, it was a tough time. Like, I had never really had any money in the bank, and my mum and dad, like, they did help me out a lot. But it was always like, they've always brought me up to work hard and earn my own money. So for me, I wanted to like be able to fend for myself. I didn't want my parents to be like giving me money, and that used to always upset me as well. But I mean, before I signed with the promotion that I'm with now, PFL, it was always tough for me. Like, never knew how much money I could spend and, you know, what I had left and stuff. So the breakthrough was when I signed with PFL. And it's funny because I was going through a tough time anyway. I was dealing with like moving gyms in the UK and struggling to get fights and not having a set promotion. So like, I was fighting on one promotion, then I was going to another one to have one fight, and just picking up what I could. I never felt like I had a set direction.
Why is that? Just because you were just trying to make it work and you...
Yeah, just like a lot of time, and you have to be careful in our sport because you have to sign contracts for promotions, and they lock you down for a long time, and then your pay is set, and there's not a lot of high pay in this sport at the bottom. You know, you have to really work yourself up in order to get the reward. So for me, I was like, didn't want to tie myself down to one promotion and then, you know, not be able to fight regularly and just take advantage. So I was like taking what was best for me at the time, but then not knowing where I was going or any breakthrough. So when I signed with PFL, I felt like I finally had like a bit of direction and structure with them. But just as I signed with them, I went to America to train there. So over here, I don't really have any girls that I train with. I train with all guys. Yeah. Which is fine. why I am tough now, because I've always trained with boys my whole life. Even now, I still train with the guys in America because my coach puts me with the boys. But I went over there to just kind of see what level I was at, see whether I was competing with the top girls, the UFC girls who are in these gyms. Did like a 4-week tour there. I went to 3 different gyms, and my last gym was the one I'm at now, American Top Team.
Yeah.
And I loved it that much for the 2 weeks. My mum ended up flying over to see me and gave me like more money to stay in the hotel that I was at and give me food and all that kind of stuff. And I stayed and finished my whole camp there for my first debut in PFL, which was back here in London.
Yeah.
So I stayed another like four weeks, I think, did my whole camp. And I had zero money, like no money in my bank. The only money I had was what my mum and dad had gave me in order to stay in America. So when I come back to the UK, I knew I was getting paid, and it was a really good contract that had been signed. But you don't get paid straight away either. It's an American company and it has to come to your UK account. So after I'd fought in London, I come back to the UK, and I was driving to the sunbed shop, and I was like, oh my God. Before I got there, luckily, I was like, I'm gonna have to check my bank because I'm not walking in there and then being turned down because my card declined. So I literally pulled my car over and checked my bank, and as I checked my bank, had been paid, and I just burst out crying and FaceTime my mom. She was crying, I was crying. I even get emotional talking about it now because it was like a crazy like time for me. It was really, really like struggling, and that moment just changed my whole life for sure. Yeah.
Well, it's fully deserved, but I'd imagine a lot of people will look at you and they'll, your mum's this, your dad, your brother's that, and you're the, like, it's not that easy, right?
It's not, no, it's not. And people look at me now and they think, oh, look at her, like she's driving a nice car and she's like here, there and everywhere. And like, I take my mum everywhere and my dad everywhere, and I just think like, they deserve it because I literally had nothing. Like, I couldn't have gone to America and changed my life without them. So
yeah.
For me, it's like anything I ever get now, like the first thing I did with my big paycheck was pay my parents' mortgage off. So that type of stuff now, to be able to achieve that is like just massive for me. But that's why I always like try and advocate for like the younger ones and just say like to stick it out, because this sport is so tough at the bottom. Like there isn't any money in it. And I know how much the young ones will be struggling, and how big the dreams will be and not have the support. So hopefully if I can change that in the future, I'll definitely help. But yeah, it was a big turning point when I signed with PFL, and it was all thanks to my parents and my brother who keeps me going for sure.
What was there a backup plan? You know, it felt like a real fork in the road.
Yeah.
What was the civilian version of Dakota? What did that look like?
I didn't plan it out.
Bare knuckle boxing underground.
I know. I didn't plan it out. I knew that like I'd always be something to do with sport. I always made sure I went to college and did like my personal training and things like that. And my mum, obviously, I always used to come here, and I always had the backup from my mum's gym. But like I would have never give up ever. Like I thought about it and it was tough, but I would have never I'm not a quitter for sure. My mindset's not been built like that. So for me, it was like, just keep pushing, just be persistent. And I did. And then it paid off. So, yeah. So what's next? Where you're reaching a level, it feels like just such a progression. Yeah. What's next? I don't know, like I'll retire when I say when I'm satisfied, but I won't ever be satisfied.
No, let me tell you right now,
Never.
you'll never be satisfied.
No. You saying that just explains it for sure. But yeah, I'll never be satisfied. I won a world title last year, and I was like thinking it was going to be a moment I was really like super proud of. I was like over it within 2 days. I was like, right, now what? Like, what's next? So I know that I'll never be fully satisfied, but I just want to keep fighting like the best girls and be the top. And for me, like, this sport is a test for myself. Like, I do this sport as well because like I always try and see how much I can push myself. Yeah. Like, I don't get up and go to training every morning and be like super excited about it. Like, sometimes I'm nervous to like go in the gym and spar and do my rounds, and like for me that's what like that adrenaline, it's like getting up in the morning being like,
what are you nervous about?
Well, like, we have tough rounds, like I get beat up by the boys sometimes, and I hate losing, so I'm rubbish sometimes in the gym, and that frustrates me. But then that's also what's like, get your ass in the gym and do better.
I was watching your vlogs, and I think you were sparring Cody, and you were like, I was rubbish. I just want to get back in there. I just want, like, are you mega hard on yourself?
I am really hard on myself, yeah. Even when, like, I cried after my last fight, even though I won, and I did really, really well. Like, I cried after that.
Is that because it went the distance?
Yeah.
Literally, that's why?
Yeah, and I was in a lot of pain with my hand, so, like, I am a bit of a softie. But
No, yeah, whatever.
Well, yeah, like, I was gutted. I want, like, a highlight reel and a stoppage.
Would you even want to just bring it back with her just so you could knock her out?
Yeah, if I could run that fight back now, I'd run it back just to get my stoppage, and then I'd leave it.
Here's one for you. That's tough. What's it like being an inspiration? Because you talked about there's not many girls, there's not many UK girls. Yeah. Like, what's it like having that following and realizing what you're doing is like opening a whole new pathway for young children, and older women, older men, all over the UK especially, but you know, global as well. What's that like for you?
It's crazy. Like, I probably underestimate it a little bit because I never like to see myself as this, like, oh, I'm inspiring everyone, I'm doing dead good. Like, but it is so nice to see, like, the amount of girls now that I see competing in this country that are amateur is crazy to me. I'm probably like, my mum will always remind me, you know, how much I inspire people, like signing with PFL. No fighters really in the UK were with PFL before I signed.
Yeah.
And now, like, we have a full European division. There's loads of guys that are competing and getting paid well, and like everyone wants to sign with PFL. And I feel like I did help start that a lot. You know, that was like something that came from me, the European season. So like, it does make me proud that kind of I probably opened that opportunity up bigger than it already was for people. And that's just what I want to continue to do. And hopefully I will continue to do that, but I'm sure I will because I'm stubborn. And
well, I watch you, and obviously I've got to spend the day with you. And as a parent, I'd want my children to be around someone like you.
Yeah.
Not even to get them into the fight game.
Yeah.
I just mean a mental, like my daughter, she's 7.
Yeah.
And like her watching you and understanding that, you know, because we all have this perception of fighting, right? It's just lunatics that whack each other.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. It's the discipline, it's the heart, it's the determination.
Yeah.
You're gonna open up some serious paths, and
yeah.
who helps you manage that? Because I was speaking to Cody before. You're like you're somewhat going into, you know, unknown waters. How do you manage that as a family?
Me myself, I never like get too excited about things. Like I always take each day as it comes. Like, I want my family to live a really good life now. I want us to enjoy fighting now and not looking like, oh, in 2 years I need to have done this, this and this. Like, I try and slow myself down, and like, you know, my next fight, I'll get excited for that, but I won't get excited for like any others that are coming up in the future because I just want to enjoy what I'm doing now. So that's probably like how we all stay very much grounded. It's like we're very much, we know how quickly it can go. So let's enjoy it now and not stress too much and not take advantage of what we've got too much right now. We're all kind of living in the moment, and we keep each other grounded like that for sure.
Someone's got to map you though. So who out of your family, who's the one person who can remove themselves and say, you've got to live in it, right? And I was speaking to Cody before, like when I was an athlete, if you asked me a question about my businesses or what I plan to do even in the summer, I'd be like, I don't know. That's not my job. I'm a goalie. I'm going to try and be the best goalie I can. Whose job is to just see those things in the road and be having those conversations above you and taking care of all the shit so that they can put in front of you and go, Dakota, we think this is the right thing. You need to make a decision on it.
Well, it's not their job because I don't pay them.
Right. Okay.
But I would be screwed without my mum and my brother.
Yeah.
Like, they are in all my group chats, all my business group chats, like all my, like wherever my money is right now, I'm literally like, because I'm very much like, I won't look at my bank account as well. Yeah. So that's like a big thing for me, that I don't want to see the money. Because I've struggled with money, I'm like, I have a thing about looking at my bank account. So like all my money, my mum will just like deal with for me. My accountants, things like that. So like without them
Give me a bit of spending money, that doesn't matter, and then you deal with the rest.
Literally, like put it into my businesses, do what you think. And honestly, like, that I'll give them everything I've got once my accounts are sorted, but literally my brother and my mum deal with everything. The only thing I have to focus on is training. That's literally it.
Right, no, I've got one more I really want to ask. What is the non-MMA version of you? Who's that? How do they work on a daily basis? Who are their friends? What do they like to do?
The opposite to what I look like in the cage. So this is also what I'm known for. I'm known for like dressing up, putting some makeup on, putting my heels on.
Where do you want to go though? What do you want to do?
Still play sport. Like when I've finished here, I'll probably go to the gym with my mum or play paddle or something like that. I'm playing sport wherever I go, or I'm running, or I'm doing something, or I'm traveling. The one thing I will say is like looking more like a girl.
Yeah.
Like that's always been something that's really important to me as well. Is like, I don't want to be labelled as this like aggressive fighter. I have these different sides to me that I want to keep. I've always like, when I was able to wear my own fight outfit, I used to wear a skirt with shorts underneath it. Like I've always wanted to keep that like girly side, and that's something that I'll always kind of push forward as well, is like, I can have two different mindsets and I can also have two different personalities and people. And that's kind of what I'm doing outside of my fighting world. It's kind of
you're an absolute promoter's dream. Like you're a promoter's dream.
Yeah.
But to keep that and that to be you so naturally like it is really, really unique. And it must cause a stir in your industry. You were saying in one of your previous fights, it got a little bit personal, almost like almost kind of people ganging up and grouping up against you.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
And that was exactly what they were grouping up against before, was I was getting more attention. I was the golden child of the promotion, and they favour me and all this kind of stuff. But for me, like we're in entertainment sports, right? So like we have to be able to have these personalities that sell. And if that's what mine does, that's what mine does. Like I'm not faking anything. I'm not like putting anybody else down. I'm just being myself, and that's working. So if that's what's going to happen, then that's what's going to happen. But I have definitely ruffled a few feathers doing that for sure. But that's just, I guess, not my issue. Is the way like, and I probably struggle with that. It's only because I listen to my mum and my brother saying like, just keep being yourself. Like, don't worry. Sometimes I do. It's funny because I do like struggle sometimes when it comes to getting the attention. Like I want other people to have the limelight. I'm not greedy like that. I want everybody to go up at the same time, but that's not how the industry works. And at the same time, I want to feed my family, so I'm going to keep pushing what's working for me.
No, it's ruthless, and you've got to protect, and I totally hear that. So when I talk about the civilian version of you, what's it like having relationships with people outside of MMA?
Yeah, I've always struggled, like, with friends and balancing like outside life, because I dedicate my whole life to this sport. Like everything that I do outside of the sport fits in with inside. So like if I'm not training, then I'm doing sensible things that help me become a better athlete still in MMA. And that's just how
everyone's
I've always
like-minded, so they understand it.
Yeah, everyone around me in the same sport is like-minded. So when I moved to America and I was kind of just living the life of a fighter, I felt like the most at home I'd ever felt in my whole life, because I just felt like I fit in somewhere. Whereas here I was trying to keep up with like friends who were outside of the sport, and they sometimes like to go out drinking and on a night out. And I lost a few friends. Like the reason I lost probably two of my best friends was because we had a little bit of a hiccup about me not going out on a night out for one of the birthdays. And it was tough, now like they've got children and it's like they're in a completely different life. So it was, it's always been tough, and that's probably another reason why I struggled, like mindset wise over here in the UK, just trying to balance the whole, life of a fighter and trying to be a good friend as well. So I think the best thing I ever did was just surround myself with the same kind of people with the same mentality. And again, that's where like if I had stayed here, my mindset would have been torn. And you can't have a torn mindset in this sport, because I was letting things slide, even like relationships and things like that. They just don't fit in. They just don't. And for me, I've always been like, I'll stay single until I'm retired if that's kind of what I need to do in order to get the best out of myself, which is what I did. Like I moved to America in 2022 and I didn't have a boyfriend since then. Like, so for me, that's just like, people will say, oh, you sacrifice so much. I do, but it's also my choice. I don't have to do that. Like
100%.
That for me is what I choose and what makes me happy. Like And that's kind of just the way it's always been for me.
Yeah. So Jake Paul, Conor McGregor are calling you the future of MMA.
Yeah.
What's it like to be spoke about and put in that category?
I've been asked this so many times. We talk about this all the time because this sounds so bad, but it really doesn't bother me that much.
I get you. No.
Because I get my confidence from what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So like it's an honour that they are saying that. Like Conor McGregor to be calling me the next thing in women's MMA is like massive, but it just doesn't stick with me because I say this all the time about like hate and positive comments. I don't read any of them because like my confidence is from what I'm doing in the gym. So like me not skipping a session in the whole of my camp is where I'm like, yeah, I'm the best in the world. Like I'm going to get in there and do what I'm meant to do. Whereas like if I'm skipping sessions and someone's feeding me like, you're the best in the world, you're the next best thing, my mindset's not there because I haven't done the work. So for me, like it is an honour and it is something that my mum and my brother will remind me all the time, like, look what these people are saying about you. They're right, you know, it's big. But if I didn't have them reminding me all the time, then I probably wouldn't be. I
totally understand that because to, you know, the world that we're in and you know, the kind of clickbait world that we're in, that would look like your biggest achievement, but it's not even, you know, a drop of what you do and what you go through. Mm-hmm. But that's all part of the skill of managing being a world-class athlete, you know, because at some point on the way up, lots of good things are being said. At some point, someone's going to turn on you. There's going to be a jealous big voice out there. Yeah. And to have that balance, did you choose to have that balance, or is that's just your balance? That's how you work?
That's just me anyway. I think just my personality in general has always been like, I don't need to be fed like loads of positive things. You know, I've always just been like, I'm tough on myself as well. Like I'm not bothered about hearing that kind of stuff either. I'm like, it's probably a bad thing. Sometimes I don't appreciate like what I'm doing and the work I'm putting in myself, and I'm not proud of myself enough probably sometimes because I just expect more all the time. Like
I get it. You can't be.
No, when
the moment you tap yourself on the back and say well done, like
you've relaxed.
That's when someone's going to take your head off.
Yeah, and that's literally my mindset. Like if I get too complacent with like myself and thinking that I'm doing all the work when I'm not, then that's when everything's going to just get taken from underneath me. So I just try and keep that mindset. And it's the same with like paychecks and things like that. When your money's going up and you're doing better and you're getting better contracts, people are like, oh, how does it feel? And I'm like,
yeah, nice.
Yeah, like,
nice.
Okay, it feels fine. Like my family is set, but okay, like I need to get back in the gym and need to train again. So that's just.
What can you improve on?
Oh, everything. Like I'm still not a complete fighter for sure. Like my last fight broke my hand. I need to punch better. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely also need to kind of be more proud of myself. And one quote that always sticks with me is like, we dreamt about where we are now. We dreamt about being here, but we want more now. Yeah. You know, like I dreamt about being in this position when I had zero money to go on the sunbed, but still now this isn't enough and I want something else now. So when I say that to myself, I think, yeah, you need to be proud because this was exactly where you wanted to be. And at that moment, when you wanted to be here, you would have been so proud of yourself. Like you would have felt like you accomplished everything, but now I'm here, I don't feel like that.
But it's counterproductive to what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're never going to settle.
No. And I guess that's a little bit sad for us. I don't know.
It's a blessing and a curse because, like I say, if you'd have offered that to the girl that was sat there checking her bank balance, she'd have snapped hands off.
She would have been like, yes, I've done it. I'm done now.
But you're sat here now just like, right, okay, there's more out there to achieve. I can't get carried away. That's why you're elite. Like, and that's what the difference is.
And again, that's mindset. Like for us, like that mindset of, okay, what's next? Never being satisfied is probably bad sometimes, but it's why we are like here. Yeah,
you can't have it all.
No.
It's a blessing and a curse. The more I'm around it and the more I see it, I totally agree with you. Don't think people are going to feel sorry for you.
No.
But you're not asking for that, you know.
We don't feel sorry for ourselves either, so.
No, exactly. So we start every podcast with mind over everything. What does that mean to you? And then we're finishing it with, we like to ask someone close to you. a question that they're not able to ask you, but they're going to ask it through me.
Okay.
So this comes from Lisa, your mum. And her question is, do you realise how proud she is of you?
Yeah.
You do. No matter how hard she is on you, you realise that it's from the place of love and...
Yeah, and I know why she's asking that as well. My mum's always like, she's always been like, not tough on us, she's the best mum. Like, you could ask anybody that knows her, she's the best, not just mum, she's the best person ever. Like, everybody comes to her for anything. That's why this gym's been so successful for like 41 years, because she's had generations of families that she's helped, and just like, not even in sport, outside of sport, like everybody comes to her. But she's always been very tough on us as well. Like, for sport, she wants the best out of us. And I'm quite soft and emotional, as you can probably tell. So sometimes, like, with her being so hard, she probably wasn't told enough, like, how proud people were of her. So she maybe sometimes forgets to, like, do that to us as kids, like, tell us how proud she is. And over the years, we've sometimes come out and said, like, look what I've done. Like, we'd laugh about a situation where my brother had a fight and he won it, and he did really, really well. And he come out the ring, and the first thing she said to him was, we need to work on your boxing.
Right.
So that's just like a silly example of, like, sometimes why she probably thinks we don't think she's proud of us, because she's, like, quite tough on us and she just wants, like, the next thing. But that's the same way we are. So I do know she's proud of me. She just tells me a lot now, for sure.
Because she needs to know that you know, because
Yeah.
she's just a mum.
She is just a mum. And another quote I saw was, like, your mum's doing life for the first time as well, like, be patient with her.
Yeah.
You know, we expect, like, parents to, like, have it all together and have all the answers, and
Yeah, we don't. We don't.
we don't.
No, we don't. No.
She's being a mum for the first time.
Yeah, I'm learning that.
Yeah.
I thought I knew it all.
Yeah.
I don't know shit.
No, and that really kind of stuck with me, and it was kind of like the time I was like, this would probably be me in a few years, like, saying the same thing to my children. So, yeah.
Good. Well, I'm glad you know.
Thank you.
Well, Dakota, you're awesome. Thank you very much for your time in the gym, emotionally and everything that you've given us there. You're an absolute beast, and I appreciate your time. I look forward to watching you fly.
Thanks for coming down. We've enjoyed having you.